Do we have it fixed? Can you guys hear me now?
Yes. Oh.
Dan.
So,
okay.
My apologies to you. Can you hear me, Bobby?
I can hear you, Greg, yes.
Okay, and YouTube, if you'll confirm that you can hear Bobby, that would be awesome.
Yeah, if we have it all figured out.
And
jump into this.
While we're working that out, this is probably a pretty good time for me to say, sorry.
Yeah.
Apparently while I was away, their rats got inside the computer and just ate up all the cords, and that's the excuse I'm going with. So, hey, thanks everyone for joining us. As I mentioned before, today's presenter is Bobby. My apologies to Bobby and all of you for the late start. Bobby is one heck of a fantastic salesman, heck of a fantastic human being, a really swell guy, and a super camper dude. Did I miss anything, Bobby?
I think you hit the main points there.
Okay. He's been with Metastock for about 5 years. He has a lot of experience presenting to audiences all over the world. He happens to be, if not our lead salesman, at least one of our lead salesmen in a consistent basis. That's not because he's a snazzy sales dude, it's because he's a genuine guy with a lot of knowledge, and people really appreciate that. So, Bobby, with no further ado, I'll let you begin your presentation. Please do make sure you read the disclaimer.
All right, will do. Thank you, Greg. That was a good introduction there. Yeah, guys, so today, to mention again, we're going to be going through practical trading with our new Paragon toolkit by Colin Abrams that also utilizes Dow Theory. Greg already gave me a wonderful introduction. Don't think I could beat it for myself. But if you guys do have any questions for after today's presentation, my contact details should be on your screen right now, and you can reach out to me via email or phone, or we have a chat room too. You can come in and ask for me for questions after the presentation, but during, definitely feel free to ask anything that comes up either in YouTube or GoToWebinar. I'm trying to monitor both of them on my end, but Greg, also feel free to chime in if I miss something or if you want me to clarify anything. Up on your screen right now, you should have our disclaimer. This is, just a fun snippet that we have to go through each time. This demonstration, it's designed to instruct you on using Metastock and the accompanying software plugins, and it's not a recommendation to buy or sell, but rather just guidelines to interpreting and using the specific indicators and features within the software. The information, software, techniques presented today, they should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading. So Metastock shall have no liability for investment decisions based on the use of their software, any trading strategies, or any information provided in connection with the company. CFTC Rule 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike actual performance records, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they are designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown.
Okay, Bobby, that's all you have to read. We typically just read the top bit there.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah, so, that's basically just saying trading is risky, and, don't trade with money that you can't afford to lose. And everything we present today can't be certain. You guys get the gist. So Colin Abrams, he is the creator of Paragon, the add-on or trading system that we're going to be putting most of our focus on today. We've actually been partnered with him for decades now, and we just recently were able to get his entire trading system built into Metastock so that you can follow along and basically trade based off of his criteria that he's had success with for decades very easily in Metastock. I mean, he's been actively trading since the 80s, as you can see up here. He's completed multiple courses and has managed several hedge funds, and he currently manages a fund of the US listed ETFs. So he's still an active trader currently. He also has been doing coaching and making appearances on TV and financial radios for years. So he's very well known, and we have a lot of people that have been really excited that we finally have his trading strategies available in Metastock. So that's just a little bit about him so that you know who kind of designed all this and how much expertise has gone into the creation of this system. One thing I do always like to cover in all my presentations, because I know that we have a lot of new users that like to join in on these, and you might be wondering to yourself, well, what's Metastock? So Metastock, we were founded in 1982. So we've been in business for almost 40 years now, making technical analysis software. I like to say, 40 years ago, a lot of people didn't even really know what a computer was or what it did. So we really helped pioneer a lot of technical analysis software. We were purchased by Reuters, whom I'm sure many of you are familiar with, back in 1995. And then we released our first real-time data feed on the Reuters technology in 2005. And then we released Metastock Zenith in 2012, which is similar. It's like a retail version of the Icon platform. But back in 2013, we did actually divest from Reuters. So we're now kind of own ourselves, I guess is a good way to put it. So we no longer have to go through all the hoops that are incorporated with being part of such a large company, but we're still partnered with Thomson Reuters, or now known as Refinitiv, actually. I should probably update this slide. So we're still partnered with them. You're still getting their data and everything, but we're able to move along a lot faster and provide new features and things to our users. And our software, it's primarily used for technical analysis, the Metastock side. We do also have news and fundamentals on Zenith, but today's focus is going to be primarily around just using Metastock, and in specific, the Paragon Trading Toolkit on Metastock. So the add-on itself, Paragon, the main features within it, it contains 6 explorations. It has 6 expert advisors, 6 templates, 6 system tests, 6 module courses. So 6 is a common theme here. For this, some of these are repeating, as you'll see, and for some things like the system tests and the trainings and things like that, they're different throughout. We're going to touch in on most of those today. Because of that 6 module course that I have listed at the bottom, where Colin Abrams himself, the creator, he's actually doing very in-depth training videos, and we'll go over what exactly, to an extent, those will cover so that you guys know. But that's actually a really big feature I like to point out is, you can often get a system, and as you'll see in today's presentation, you can get buy and sell signals on your chart, and just following those blindly, you can have a lot of success with Metastock. But if you actually do the trading parameters as outlined by Colin himself, so instead of just following the signals but waiting for other criteria to match up, like you want to look at different moving averages, you want to look at trend or breakouts or things of that nature before actually taking a trade, and some of the signals can be a re-entry, or in some cases you wouldn't take one at all, and by following all of that he includes in his training, you're going to have even more success with the system. And because he does those courses, my focus today is going to be more just on showing you the blanket overview of the features, so you know what's all included with the system. And then if you decide that, hey, that looks good, I like the potential of that, I want to try it out, I'll let Colin do the actual training for you, because he's going to know all the ins and outs of it. I've been using this system for a while. It was released a little over a month or so ago, and normally we get more presentations out on it sooner, but there were just some time frame issues that we had, and that's actually the reason I wanted to go over it today, because I know we don't have a lot of video material on it, and a lot of my clients have been asking me for that. Might be jumping ahead of myself here. So with the theory of 6 here. So there's 6 explorations, expert advisors, and templates, and these are basically all the same. So they're all named the same in Metastock, and they're easy to follow along with. You have the Dow Theory signal line chart. You have key reversal bars, the Paragon moving average 205 entry system. There's a Trendfinder system in there. One of my favorites to use is the Trendfinder Dow Theory combined. So really, it's a combination of 2 of the other systems, but it combines them to give what Colin thinks are much more consistent signals. You might not always catch a trade at the earliest possible moment, but it seems to have a little bit more consistency in it. So that's one of my favorites. Also, there's the Paragon weekly buy setup. I actually really like to use this too. I use it for confirming trend before I do a lot of my analysis. So we're going to actually open up Metastock. I know you guys don't want to just read a slide the whole time. So I do kind of have some highlighted features that are in this slide presentation, and we can even come back to them as kind of like an overview. As you can see here, I have information on the Dow Theory signal line chart. Maybe I'll even just cover the basics of this before I show it in Metastock. Dow Theory itself is actually pretty complex if you're familiar with it. And it's not necessary to know, or even relevant in a practical trading point of view, to know all the intricacies of it. The system, it's also known as market structure, and it's derived from a larger theory. But to really kind of simplify it here, and what Paragon takes advantage of with its Dow Theory system, is the buy signals are triggered when you have higher highs and higher lows. And the ideal entry would be the first signal that you get after a downtrend. And then the second signal during an uptrend provides an opportunity to add to the position if desired. And repeated signals can be used, kind of how you want. There's a lot of play in this. Colin Abrams keeps things really simple, and he leaves some things up to interpretation. You have a base system to follow with him that can help give you good results, but then you're able to add your own types of exit strategies or risk parameters to kind of assist with it. Let's go ahead and jump in Metastock though, and show you guys kind of what I'm talking about here. I've done a lot of these presentations, and kind of throughout too, if you guys want to look at a specific symbol after we've kind of gotten started and shown you how some of the things work, let me know. I'm actually just going to be pulling up any charts you guys want. I haven't really pre-vetted these or anything, but I do know that at least when I used to do these presentations, Tesla, when it was a hot one, a hot stock going up and down so much, people always wanted to look at charts of that. So let's go ahead and pull that open. What I'm doing here is these are our main power tools inside of Metastock, in case you guys didn't know. This is our charting tab that I have highlighted here. And I just put the instrument we're going to open, Tesla, up here. Now I'm going to open this up actually with one of the templates from Paragon. So if I scroll down here, we have quite a few systems in Metastock, as you can see. Let's go ahead and open the Paragon Dow Theory signal line chart. So this is a template of the one we were just reading, and I'll let you guys have a look at it. Sure, we'll just open the maximum records and use the template's periodicity for that, which should actually open it in a daily. Yep, so that did open in a daily. All right, so you guys can see a couple of things here. So the way that this template opens is it puts you on a line chart. It's kind of in the name for this one, the Dow Theory signal line chart. You can, if you guys highly prefer, say you're a candlestick person, you can still come into this template and you can turn it into a candlestick chart and do your analysis that way. Maybe you prefer to have it that way for looking at things. Just for simplicity's sake, and because it's what Colin does, and he's often working off the close price in a lot of his strategies. For the Dow Theory signal, he likes to use a line chart. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn the line chart on because that's what he would use. So this is a daily time frame. Oh, let's go ahead and close that. I'm actually going to just back up a little bit. So there's a few things on the chart. You have the line with the prices. This is the price line chart here. And then he has a few different moving averages on here, and there's a few different reasons for these. You can even change these if you really like, but a lot of his guidelines are based on these moving averages. So we have the 20 period simple, the 50, and the 100. But you can see there's some signals here on the chart. These blue arrows are actually the Paragon Dow Theory. They're the buy signals, and then the red are the sells. Now, you're not always buying at a buy and then selling at a sell. That's more of a buy and a short type signal. And then there's different exit strategies to take into place. But you can see, to just kind of give the explanation of the higher high and higher lows. See, just a good spot to follow along here. Maybe we'll zoom in. So in order to have trend, if something's trending upwards, it's going to have higher highs and higher lows too. So if, for example, if we just go here, so you have this low point here, and then it came up, and this high compared to this previous high is actually lower. So that hasn't started like a positive trend, but then here we're going down again. So this low this time when it comes down is a higher low than this low. And then it comes up here, and this high right here, if you can see that, is a higher high than this high. And so it's really as simple as that in the base methodology to generate a signal. That is just why this signal, oh, I moved spots. That is why this signal right here was generated, and that applies to all of these. So that's how that comes into place. And then you, oftentimes with these trades, there's different ways to take them, but that's why they signal. And kind of like I mentioned earlier too, you're not taking every single one of these. It actually says in the expert commentary, which you can see is actually turned on right here, it tells you what you're looking at on your chart. It gives you some information like bars since the last buy signal, because it's currently reading this one here was 20 days. But if you come back and say, click on one of these, if you're looking at a chart or there's something you've been monitoring, it'll give you, it'll tell you that you have a signal right here, tell you why it formed, and give you a bunch of information on that. Now, there are a few different rules involved. I actually have a write-up on it on my other screen that you guys can't see. Let me see if I can pull this in. Just bear with me just one moment. So those are how the signals are entered. And then normally there's a few things to do with them. So there's a couple ways to trade it, and Colin goes far more in depth how to utilize this base easy platform here to trade. But normally you would take a trade in many cases if you're above the 20 period simple. So if you generate a buy signal, like say this one that generated right here, well, it's below the 20 period moving average. So you actually wouldn't have taken this buy here. And as you can see, I mean, it did go up, and that signal, sometimes it's harder to see. Let me see if I can put a line on here for you guys. Oh, they're right here. So that buy arrow there is actually signaling where it crosses on the red up higher, just so that you guys can see that. And you can see the next day it went up, but then it went down significantly. You know, not an amazing trade is what some of you might be thinking, but that's because that's not a trade you actually would have taken here, because your 20 period simple is going downward. This is in a downtrend. So you know that you wouldn't take that signal. And with that being said, I'm actually going to switch over templates here, because as mentioned, there are 6 of these templates. I was just trying to give the base overview of the main Dow system. But if we come back into Paragon, you can also put one on. So that's the Dow Theory signal line chart. We also have the Trendfinder template that's combined with the Dow Theory. And I'm going to put this on. We're not going to save that and open up another one. So you have templates for both of these. If you just wanted to see the Trendfinder or just the Dow Theory, it's so that you can incorporate these templates and systems into your own existing strategies, find what works best with what you're doing currently or some other systems that you're trading with, and then combine these. But if we just put the Trendfinder in with the Dow Theory, now we'll see there's a couple extra colors on the chart. And you'll also notice this one is no longer a line chart, but this one is done in candlesticks. And what the blue is representing here is when the Paragon Trendfinder is in a bullish state, so upwards. So you'll see that you have, you know, buy signals that are in the blue, and these are the types of signals that you would take. And also another way to trade this system is when you do get one of these entries and you come in, and you could also even just get in as soon as you have blue if you're just trading based off the Trendfinder. But if you combine them, you wait till you have blue, so a bullish signal, and you wait till you have a buy signal on your Dow Theory, then you would have gotten in on this trade right here. And then there's a couple ways to exit this. One way to do it, and it also depends on your time frame, you know, how many trades you like to take, how active you like to be in the market. One of the recommended ways is exiting on the cross of the 5-period simple moving average. And you'll see this red line right here, which puts that in for you. So this is a close price for the 5 simple is what it says on the screen right there. So if we did wait, even though we didn't catch this trade at the earliest point, because we were waiting for both to match up, you can see it obviously was a really positive trade. And then the exit for this would have actually, you would come when it crosses the 5. So we could have, depending on your strategy, you could exit on the cross of the 5 when this one went down below it, or you could wait till after it closes and end here. So you buy here and sell about here. Another way too, what I like to do with a lot of my trading is to exit or is to raise my stop loss after I hit a certain criteria. So if I saw that this went below the 5 here, I might have really tightened my trailing stop to say, maybe 5%. If it goes down another 5% from this point to get out or something like that. And then you could ride this longer. Another way to trade it, if you want to be more long-term, is as long as you continue to have a bullish, so the blue here, then you could even hold it and wait until after it crosses the 20 period. So if you were to take it in that instance, you would have got in here and you would have ridden it for a close. This wasn't a close, but it didn't even cross below, it looks like. But up here, we did have a close below the 20. So you could have exited here. It all depends on the time. Even if you're doing the shorter time frame, it's not necessarily worse because you could have bought here, got out here, bought again here. This closed over it, it looks like, and then got out again here. So there's different ways, but you can see that's just really simple and it's solid for the Dow Theory and the Trendfinder combined. But this also kind of can open you up to, maybe some other strategies that you have currently. Maybe you have your own criteria for a bullish or bearish market, and you can implement the Dow Theory signals, or maybe you have your own signals and you want to put in the Trendfinder on it. Those are options too. I do want to jump in some of the other templates and not spend too much time on one chart or template. So let's get into another one that I actually really like, which is the Paragon weekly buy setup. Let's open up something else too. Let's do like an index. So let's go ahead and open up like the SPX. And we're going to change our template here to the Paragon weekly buy setup. And I haven't even looked at this, just so you guys know. So we're just going to see what this looks like with the weekly. So this template includes a stochastic oscillator, and then you have buys. And these are just buy signals. There aren't exits with this. And this is just to kind of help you identify the trend. This did open up in a weekly chart here. But you can see even with this weekly, you have a lot of these buy signals are generating at good times. You can see after they go, the market usually goes up, and you can have different exits with them. And also keep in mind too, you have expert commentary kind of telling you everything that you're looking at on the side. What I often like to do is make sure that I have a buy signaled with this and then stay above the blue line too with your closes. That's one way I like to look at it. And as long as I'm in a buying zone and staying above the blue instead of below, like right here, then I can know, all right, I can take long positions on this security. Or by looking at an index such as the S&P 500, this is kind of giving you an idea of the markets as a whole. And sometimes, it can be good to look at the market as a whole and identify its trend before actually going in and trading individual securities on it, because mostly individual securities will still follow the overall market as a whole, though of course there can be some specific things that are always going to have move one way or another based off news or fundamentals or things like that. But from a technical standpoint, it seems oftentimes things will be moving in the same direction as a whole for major securities. So this is the Paragon weekly buy setup here. Just wanted to look at And of course, as I mentioned, if you guys have questions, definitely feel free to toss those out, and or if you want to look at a specific security as well. And then let's see, there's a few other things. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I know that we haven't gone into every single template, and we don't even necessarily have to. I just wanted to show you guys some of the main ones here. There's also like a key reversal system. Let's go ahead, just show you guys what this looks like as well.
Hey, Bobby, while you're pulling that up, there are no questions here on, oh, excuse me, just as I was saying there are no questions, we do have a question in YouTube. Would you like to address that?
Yeah, so I can see that here. So do you count the wicks as highs or lows in spiky? So I think you might be referring to the candlesticks, would be my guess. So, and just so you know, when you're looking at a candlestick, so these are candlesticks, it's what this represents is the start of this one. This is the open, and then the high is the line that sticks out of the top. This shows this was the highest point throughout the day, and then the bottom, this says this was the lowest point throughout the day. But because this is an open candlestick, this says that it closed upward, and so I know the last point over here on the right, and this, oh, sorry, I moved candles, but this is the close. So your open, your high, your low, and your close. And you can use this data in different ways. You can base your signals off of the close, which is what a lot of people do. Or some people, you know, will just say if at any point it went through, you know, a moving average or whatever criteria you're looking at, then that's going to signal you to exit or signal you to, hey, maybe tighten my stop because this had the potential of closing under this point that I like to get out of my trades at. So I'm going to tighten my stop for this. So there's different ways of looking at it. But yeah, to answer your question, that's how a candlestick works. You have the open, the high, the low, and the close. So the spikes are representing the high and the low. And it can, for instance, this guy, this one right here, it can open at the very bottom and close at the very top, or reversed too. You know, these filled in ones. So this one actually opened right here, and then it closed down here. So that's how those work. So yeah, it looks like you're wanting to look at some Forex too, I'm seeing. So yeah, you can apply these to Forex as well. I'll go ahead and open one of those up for you. XAU, USD, I believe our symbol for that is like this. Let's go ahead and do just open it on Dow Theory. We'll do it with the Trendfinder as well. Oh, so I did actually enter a wrong symbol. So let's go ahead and look it up. Oh yeah, sorry, just XAU equals. All right, so here's, someone just asked for me to open up this symbol and show. So I just wanted to do that to show you that it does work on anything really. You can see the blue is the uptrend. And sometimes you can even still have an uptrend when the market's looking sideways, but you can look at your moving averages and things to get into that. It does look like there's a lot of good entries here. So remember, you get the buy, you want to be above the 20 normally. You can play with these rules to find what works best for you and your markets. But one of the recommendations is take your buys above the 20 period, which like you would have here. And then you can potentially exit with the cross of the 5, which is the smaller one. So it comes up and then it crosses here. So you could buy and sell there. This could get you in another trade. Also, like I mentioned before too, you can, you could get in and wait longer, take different criteria for your exits and write them out in a more long-term basis. If you have a change in, from going from a bullish trend to like a sideways, that's what this is. Just red and green are the normal colors for candlesticks in this case when going up or down. So if you're seeing the red and green, that's basically just means a sideways market in terms of the Paragon Trendfinder. And then the pink would be a bearish or a downward market. So that's what you're seeing right here. And then the blue means you're trending up. And you know, when you've had such a big trend like this, even having a correction like that can still keep you bullish potentially. But if it doesn't reverse back into a more upwards scaled pattern, then it is gonna, you know, remove you from that bullish sentiment. And of course, guys, too, so like I mentioned before, you can add your own analysis to this as well, or just kind of as a just to show you guys like an example here. So this is actually like a fast way to open up other popular templates. So let's just say someone currently is using some of our built-in popular templates that just come with Metastock as a whole. So I'm going to actually close that commentary. So this is, you know, a chart that has the RSI, the relative strength index, your stochastic, and like the MACD. Maybe you like to have all of these on your chart, so that's what you have, and then you have your price down here. Well, you've seen me apply the templates of all these strategies. They also have expert advisors, which instead of changing everything on your chart, it just adds you know, some of the more popular points of a strategy. So I'm going to come in here and show you guys what that looks like. So our expert advisor for Paragon, the Trendfinder, and Dow Theory combined. If I put that on my chart, what that did is it took my existing chart that I had and it added the trend from Trendfinder. So you see the blue and the pink zones, and it also added the buy and the sell signals from the Dow Theory that are generated. So it added that to my existing chart here, and now I could save this as my own custom template and trade it that way. Or of course you can go in and edit this however you want. Also, when you have an expert advisor on your chart, you can also turn on the commentary for it. So this is another really good way to add it into your existing strategies. Maybe you already have your own templates and you don't want to switch to using a whole brand new template, but you want to take some of these key features out of them. Then yeah, just put their expert advisors on your chart, and you'll also get the expert commentary telling you what you're looking at and how to trade the system. So that's another big key feature there. Let me see what else I have in our PowerPoint here. So we're going through some of the Paragon methods. The Dow Theory signal line chart I kind of went through with you guys. And as I click through these slides, if you guys want to come back and watch this recording and read some of the highlights that I decided to include in the presentation, you can definitely do that. Here's like some more information on the Trendfinder that we looked at a couple of times. So Trendfinder is basically a trend identifier, more so than a complete trading system. So normally you're not just going to trade, you know, you're not going to like enter every time it turns blue and exit every time it turns pink, because there's normally also like a sideways market in between there too. This is just something for you to add into your trading toolkit. And as long as you have trend on your side, you know, like they say, trend is your friend, or and all the different terminology for that, you can add this to your existing signals. And then some of the ways that you can take triggers or entries and exits on this are like looking for trend line breakouts, or look for price patterns such as a flag, or maybe you like to do, you know, trade off candlestick patterns or something like that. Well, wait until your candlestick patterns for say a bullish or a long are inside of the bullish trend with this. That's a really good way to combine the strategies. So yeah, this one says the Paragon methods. This is the Trendfinder and Dow Theory combined. So that's one way. Hey, add the Dow Theory with your Trendfinder. That's one way to trade it. But it's really an open system that you can incorporate in with your other strategies, which is one of the reasons I really love it. But even if you just follow the systems that are built into this, you can have a lot of success with your trading. We didn't look at this one very long. I know I just popped open a chart for it, but you do have a key reversal bar. So a reversal bar is going to occur when prices make a new low before climbing back to close near the high of the same bar. A bearish reversal is similar, but basically just the opposite, reaching a new high before closing near the low. Both of them require confirmations before making a trade when you're using this system. And no trades occur if they instead fall below the low of the reversal bar. And also remember too, guys, I'm just doing like a real blanket overview of all of this. add-on itself is actually far more intricate. I'm just trying to show the simple parts of it and give you an understanding of how it can work so that you can see if, maybe this would benefit you in your trading. So we have those key reversals. There's also entry systems based on different moving averages, where you can use like the 205 moving average and check for it to align itself with the short-term trend, which can be represented by like the 20-period moving average. And also, if you guys wanted to, you can tweak these moving averages too. Maybe something works a little bit better with your market. You can apply your own parameters to it to make this better for your market. But as a blanket, the default systems work very, very well. But there's definitely some room to even improve them even more for specific systems. And this gives you some details about when some of these signals are going to be better than others. That's why I was saying, if you guys want to come back through and actually read the entire system for these, you definitely can, and that could be useful for you. One thing I actually meant to mention when I was showing you guys some of those weekly buy setup templates. So these normally signal a multi-week rally, which you saw when I presented that earlier. Every time you had a buy signal for weeks on end, it's tended to trend upwards. So with these, it tells you how you can take confirmation on these and when some of these signals are better than others. This also gives you a good strategy to use if you're more of a long-term trader or investor. And one tip that I meant to mention, because this really does make a difference if you go back and look at even further history, is the best signals occur when the price is trading higher than it was 12 months ago. So that just it kind of deals with like support and resistance in that form. But if you have a buy setup that's higher than it was 1 year ago, then that's going to indicate very likely an even stronger rally coming up afterwards. Now, this is one part I'm actually really excited about and wanting to show you guys. I thought about putting it in even sooner, just because some of the results that you can get with this strategy are really quite amazing, honestly. So the system test, we do have 6 system tests. You'll notice these are a little bit different. They don't match up with the exact same 6 templates and everything that were shown, but that's because there's different exits in some of these. So you have like the moving average 205 entry system, and you can test this strategy to see how it's performed historically, crossing a 10-period moving average or the 5-period, or even doing a next bar exit. And again, you can use these on all time frames too. So you can use this on an hourly chart if you're day trading, or 5 minute, 1 minute, whatever it may be that it is that you like to trade, whatever works for you. This will work the same. And this allows you to test it to see, hey, does this system work best on this security with this type of exit, or this, et cetera. You can optimize them further as well. You also have the Dow Theory signal, the system tester trading off that, the Paragon key reversal bar, and this utilizes an exit 2 days after. These are just to kind of give you an idea of the performance. And I am actually going to jump back into Metastock to show you guys that. One thing I wanted to point out too, when you saw all those buy and sell signals and everything, I know I just said we're going to jump in the system tester, but I see we have like 15 minutes left, and I want to spend a good amount of time in the system test. So I just real quick want to say, those signals that you were seeing earlier, you don't have to open up hundreds of charts to be able to find those and look at those. One of the great things about Metastock is you can use our Explorer or scanning tool to search for different criteria that are happening. So let's go down here. So if I hover over these, it'll kind of tell you what it's doing. So with that Dow Theory signal line chart, you can actually run a scan across the market. And when you do that, you could scan, like, say, the whole S&P 500, and then it's going to give you a list of the S&P 500 that has a buy signal today or a sell signal today. And what that was actually saying in there is if you have a 1 under the first column, that's a buy signal, or the second column, B, is going to be a sell. So you can filter by the buy and sells after you've ran this scan. And instead of having to look through a list of 500 or 5,000 stocks, you can just run a scan and find things that have signals today, and then do your analysis on that chart, put on your template. So the nice thing about the templates and these scans and those expert advisors, as they all do match up. Those 6 do match. So it's very easy to run a scan for a key reversal bar and then provide yourself with a list of securities that all are signaling a reversal bar today, as well as with any of the other strategies, and then simply open that up with your template for that specific system, or open up your personal template if not using the Paragon one, and apply the expert advisor to it. So that's a feature as well. If we have enough time after going through the system tester, I'll show you guys this real quick. A lot of you that have Metastock, you already know exactly what this does for you. It allows you to save tons of time in your daily or weekly analysis, whatever it may be, by looking at just securities that are giving you signals for what you want to trade right now, instead of having to spend your whole day searching for those potential trades. All right, back into where we were going. So we have our system test here, and I'm going to just run a test live so you guys can see kind of how this works, how long it takes, then show you some of the results. And normally when you do these, not every trading system is going to work for every single security or every single market. No, someone that's trading in the India markets or the Australia markets, you might have certain systems or speeds at which the markets change versus someone like in the US. So just something to keep in mind, but that's a nice thing about this system tester, is it'll let you see between all these different strategies and all the others built into Metastock too, which ones perform the best with your market and on your time frame. And I am based in the US, so I'm gonna show you guys the Dow Theory signal system test. So this buys and sells, let's see here, just gonna read this over with you guys so you can see what exactly it does. It takes the Dow Theory buy and sell signals and exits on a close, below a 10-period moving average for longs or above a 10-period moving average for shorts. And that's actually kind of funny, because in the templates I was showing you guys, the difference between exiting on a 5 or a 20. So this test is doing it on the 10. So again, there's just options. Let's get out of this. And also, I guess just something to notice, because I did open up the system editor. So there is more that goes into all these trading strategies. And some of it is proprietary, because Colin spent decades developing all of this and creating such a solid system. So you can't see all the different formulas included in everything. But when you are doing system tests, you can go in and you can change your stops or add different optimizations. Maybe there's a strategy that works a certain way, but for you, you always like to use a 10%, you're only willing to risk 10% of your trade and then you're out. So you could come in here and say maximum loss percent, 10%. And so if a trade goes down by 10%, it would get you out of that trade. So you can put in your own different parameters in here to make it even better, or do update with different trailing stops or things like that. It tells you what it's going to put those signals on in here. Sorry, I don't know why I keep clicking into that. I'm meant to go into trade options. You can also go into that trade options button and go into your account. So let's say I have a $10,000 account. That's what I'm planning to trade using the Paragon trading system in Dow Theory. You can say the percent of available equity you want to trade, or the amount per trade you want to put in, or you can do a points only test. You can also go inside of here if you're broker, if you're paying broker fees, and there's certain margin requirements or different broker fees or points per transaction that you have commissions. You can enter those in here so that you're getting actual results that pertain to if you traded it actually on your market. So those are some good things to keep in mind of. But what we're going to do is just run the Dow Theory signal. Down here is a list of instruments. Looks like I have 600 selected. What do we have selected here? So the public online data list. I did run these scans earlier in case for whatever reason I couldn't do them live with you guys. We had a backup, but it looks like I'm still online. So we'll just do it live. No point in doing it on the 100 and 500 if the 100 is included in the 500. So I have the S&P 500 selected. If I traded using the Dow Theory system that Colin's created with these exit parameters. I'm trading both long and short trades, so that's why both is selected. And we're going to do 1,250 records. Normally in a trading year, actual days that the market's open, it's about 250 records. So that's why 1,250 is the 5 years. So we're going to do it on a daily time frame here. And I'm going to go ahead and click Start System Test just so that you guys can see this in real time. And I'm not like messing with the results of this at all. And I will say I did pick to show Dow Theory just because it has such great results, and these results work for any market too, where it's just very safe. You get very safe entries and exits utilizing this system, because normally you have quite amount of trading systems that aren't going to work for certain securities, or certain securities that are just hard to find the recurring patterns using technical analysis. And I'm going to show you guys results for all of them too. But it was quite surprising to me my first time getting into this and just seeing how good the results were based off of this system. And you can see it's climbing through these, and it's testing every single one of these with the entries and exits that we reviewed, all 505 securities, and it's going to list the results for them. So we can see that's done here. And you can do this on any of the markets. I mean, we have over 300,000 securities available with Metastock. I'm on our real-time version here, and with global market data. So any markets that you guys trade, whether it be Forex, whether it be futures, whether it be stocks or equities or options, you can use Metastock, and you can also use Paragon to help you trade those. So I'm going to click report right here to pull up my report. You see there's a few reports done. This is the most recent one that I just did. So we're going to view it. Now you see a lot of green up here, and it definitely sticks out to me like a sore thumb. You can see this one really big one right here, and I'm actually going to sort by net profit of this trading system. And this can happen with any sort of scan, but personally, when I see something like that, it had over a 5,000% gain trading using this system. Honestly, that security specifically probably had a really big breakthrough or fundamental criteria hit, or big news to make it just trade differently than the rest of the market. You can see what everything else looks like, and that one's up there like that. So maybe you do want to go in and trade that when you see something like that. You love it. Personally, I don't like to include that in my own analysis. That's just me. So I'm actually going to delete that one off of there. I know it had the best results, so now my results are going to be skewed to be not as good as a blanket overall system, but I don't want that in there just because now I can see, this is more average type of results, and this is profit. And remember, this is based off of our $10,000 account that we traded over the last 5 years. So some of these strategies are hitting upwards of 6 figures, and you have over 1,000% gains with this. And this system tester too, for those of you that aren't familiar, so this is maybe even better way to look at it. Normally when you run these tests, you have a bunch of green, about half green and maybe about half red or so, or it really depends on the system. But with the Dow Theory, it's such a safe trading strategy to use across the whole S&P 500. In my scan that I ran today, July 21st, and for the last 5 years, I would have had successful trades on all of these. And again, just like the disclaimer at the start, maybe there's some sort of outlier or something happened so you couldn't take all these trades exactly as they're executed in here. But if you were to have followed the trading strategy exactly as it says to, and you were able to execute all of your trades on time, then this is what your results should have been. And we can even open up one of these too. Let's see. So Etsy's in here. And you can see it'll tell you like the profit that you would have made, the performance that it had over that time period. One thing that I really like to do when going inside and looking at it is I like to look at the equity bar. So it looks like in the first, year, 2 years or so, it looks like there wasn't a lot of trades really happening with this specific system. And so my equity stayed around the 10,000. I wasn't making a lot, but it looks like, more recently it's probably because Etsy became a lot more popular in the last few years than it used to be. Then you can see this bar started to go up, and especially here in the last period, this just went up and up and up and up. So this has told me in the last year or so, utilizing Dow Theory on Etsy, it's just had consistent profits going up and up and up. And that is what I actually like to see when looking at a system test. Let's see if we can find one of the ones that I wouldn't trade. Oops, let's open that back up. Let's just open up a random one here. So this one didn't perform as well, but it still had good performance. Like you can see, if you traded the Paragon Dow Theory signal on Alliant Energy, the performance over that would have been 56%. You would have profited $5,605. That's versus if you just bought it and held it, you would have profited $3,200. So it did outperform just a buy and hold by using this trading strategy. And remember, you can optimize this further for your markets, or find something that works a little better for you that could even increase these results. So that's another reason that the results aren't always what you see on here, because you might trade it just slightly different, and you can determine what's going to help you make even better trades. But let's look at that equity bar. So here, this one's actually pretty good too. It does go up. And that's what I like to see, is upward. When you have ones that are going up and down and up and down, maybe it was trading good for a while and then it really wasn't performing well. So that equity bar goes down. But then recently it had some really good trades. So at the end it's up. So that's why in the results it had good results. Now that tells me, okay, so you can make profit with this, but it seems like a risky one. So maybe I wouldn't want to use that trading system against it. And now I did tell you guys, I was just excited to show you that, because normally when you open up a trading system and you view the results in your system tester, there's a lot of green and there's a lot of red. You're hoping for more green normally, obviously. But I haven't seen that really with many of our other system tests having such good results. I did actually do another scan earlier today where I did everything else. So all the other Paragon systems, as you can see right here. And I did the same thing. I ran it across the S&P 500 using 1,250 records. But just for the time of this presentation, that could take just a few minutes, and no one wants to just stare at me for a few minutes while that runs. I already ran the report. You can see right here. So today's date, just 20 minutes before the presentation, and we can view that. Now you're seeing some red and green here. This is overall profit of each strategy. So this is actually just showing it a little bit differently, because you have to actually click into it. This is showing the systems, not what it's traded against. So if I click into one, this is right here, the Paragon Moving Average 205 entry system. And this is utilizing the 10-period moving average crossover exit. And if you traded that system on the S&P 500 over the last 5 years, these would have been your results. And this is a bit more consistent with what you'll normally find. It trades really well on these. And there's some securities that it just wasn't a winner on. And that's how it is in any market. That's why trading's risky. We all know that. But a very important thing to note here, the whole point of this system tester is to help you identify these, so that, you would most likely only trade this strategy on the things up here. This is telling you, hey, the way that some of these securities at the bottom are traded, or how people look at them, is not something that Paragon syncs well with or synchronizes with, at least the Paragon Moving Average 205 entry system specifically. So you just know not to trade it on those. It doesn't mean this is a bad system, because obviously you can see some of these winners are really, really big winners. And the biggest loser really didn't even lose that much. The absolute worst system that it worked on the S&P 500 over a 5-year basis, and maybe that system just went down too. We'll even look at it. Biogen. So hey, probably don't trade the moving average 205 entry system on Biogen. And we can look into it too and see what happened. And it's actually kind of funny. My guess is Biogen probably had some poor results later on, because you can see The equity stayed up for a really long time, and then it just had a few bad trades in the last couple of years that just wiped out all the profits. So oops, let's go back into these. So that's just one way to look at that. Let's also go into the Trendfinder, sort it by net profit, and then you can go in and look at how these work. So this is the system tester, guys. Another cool thing that you can do too is, so based off that test I just ran, not only do you get all of this information here, the trade efficiency, and remember, you can put in your own account size and risk parameters and change your exits and things too to work with this and make it better for you. But you can go in and see, okay, this is where all the orders are. And it shows you, okay, it was ordered on this bar. This is what I bought at. You can see when the trades are considered and when they're executed and opened, whether it's a buy or a sell here. Another cool feature too with our system tester is you can plot this on a chart. So I'm going to plot on chart, and this is going to look a little bit different than what we saw before with the templates, because this is plotting the system test. So this is plotting the actual system test, not the trading strategy. So you can see these numbers. This is telling you, the buy, what position number it was, and what unit it was. So this is where you bought here and sold there, or bought and sold here. And you can go through and look at how these trades performed in here, while also kind of seeing your equity, what happened to it here. And this is kind of a high risk system test too. You're putting more of that $10,000. You're willing to put, up to $7,500 per trade, depending on it. So this is a riskier one, and the results you get, you can lower that, you can heighten it. Some people like to do their system tests off 100% of, say, $5,000, because they're always trading $5,000 at a time. Or maybe you put in your whole account and put in the amount of the percent of your account that you want it to trade, because if that percent goes up over the years, you're trading bigger numbers over the years too. So just things to consider. And another cool feature that I wanted to show to you guys, I do see that I've actually gone over by just a couple minutes. I know we had some technical difficulties getting started. So that's the base of this. Let's jump back into my PowerPoint. And also, if you guys have any questions, feel free to start asking those. But so another really important thing, I was just showing everyone the overview of Paragon, some of the features included, what your results can look like by trading it, and kind of how it can work. But Colin Abrams has, for years or decades, been utilizing these strategies with success, and he's coached countless people and hosted countless trainings. And he said that, in his sleep or in his dreams even, he could go through the training on this, and it's extremely in-depth. He tells you far more exacts on how you can be more successful with it. And this is going to be over 6 different sessions that you get access to. And I'm sure a lot of people know, you can pay thousands of dollars to get coaching like that and to get expertise, knowledge from a professional trader. And this is all included in the add-on, all 6 sessions. We've actually already done some of these sessions. We had one just yesterday, but there's still a few upcoming later on in the week and month, and et cetera. So you guys can still attend the classes live and ask questions. We also have our support team and me available if you have specific questions about it too. But he goes over the market basics. He goes over different asset classes, charts, and trends in these different sessions, more trends over the different tools available. He covers reversals, continuations, and volume, how to incorporate all that in your trading. Like as you saw from my presentation today, you can buy on the buy signals and sell on the exits that are just automatically built in and show up in your expert commentary, and you'll have success with this trading system. But if you go through all this training material that Colin is going to provide to you with the add-on, you can have even more success with it and potentially even better results. So that is another reason that I love this add-on. And Colin does a really good job of presenting the system too. I've been attending the classes and watching them. So that's huge with this. Again, as an overview, Paragon Trading Toolkit, it's going to add 6 explorations in Metastock for you, the expert advisors, your test templates, your system test, and you get all the training. You might be wondering how much it costs. so if you took the courses on this and things, you could have paid thousands in years past. But now that we've incorporated it into Metastock, the retail price for this add-on is just $699, and that's to add it on to your existing Metastock account. Or if you don't have Metastock, I can help you out to get a trial of it on our extended trial offer and get you some data too. And this is the full add-on, everything that you saw today plus more, because I didn't cover everything. You get the 6-module training course, and you get, if you need it, if you don't have Metastock currently, I'll go over Metastock some more with you and include a trial of that. And they don't let me put this in the presentation itself, but I noted if you guys reach out to me, I can actually get you a special discounted rate. It's a very limited time offer. We actually did a release special where some of you might have seen where you can get a discount. And just this week only, I can actually do an even bigger promotion for you. So reach out to me. You can send me an email if that's the easiest way. It's bobby.hiller@metastock.com. With any other questions, or if you want to know that the price that I can offer only this week, they don't let me put it in here, but I can tell you it's a really good price. Getting this add-on at $699 is a great deal, but with the discounts I have now, or if you're watching this a year, 2 years from now, feel free to reach out to me. Any promotion we have going on at that time, I can help you out with. It looks like Greg is also sharing some of my contact details in the chat for you guys. It looks like in GoToWebinar, a couple of people are asking some things. Mohammed wanted me to send him a video of the presentation later. Okay, great. Yeah, so if you're signed up in GoToWebinar, you should actually get a recording of this after it ends. Also, you can go to our YouTube page. Many of you are probably already on it, but for those of you in GoToWebinar, you can also go to youtube.com/Metastock, and you'll be able to find this presentation there. It's going on live right now, but afterwards, the recording is going to be uploaded in there too. Disregard our technical difficulties right at the start. You can fast forward through them to watch everything. But so yes, anyone watching now, you will be able to get a recording of this. One thing to keep in mind though, is we did just run a really big special here at Metastock the last few days. A lot of you are probably aware of those offers that we had going on, and I can help out with those on Paragon. So just reach out and I'll happy to talk to you about it or about your Metastock needs. Also, for those of you that don't have Metastock, or even if you do, because maybe you weren't aware of this, but we offer free unlimited support. So this is technical support as well as answering your questions. We have a support team that's available on the phone. They're available in a live chat room. I'm also available via those methods. You get access to recorded trainings with us, and we even offer a free white glove setup and installation service. So we'll not only provide this support if you want to reach out to us and ask questions, but I can schedule you for a one-on-one session where a Metastock professional helps make sure everything's installed properly and goes through all the different power tools that you saw. They'll go through, how to best utilize our charts and the different templates on there, the expert advisor, show you how to run your explorations and your system tests, how to, optimize those in different ways, and how to trade or how to change up your trade options to make it match your existing trading account and things of that nature. All of that is included for free if you have Metastock. You don't even need Paragon. We offer all of that in just your base Metastock services. For those of you that are curious, well, how much does Metastock cost? Because Paragon is an add-on for our Metastock software. Metastock itself is going to provide you with the charting software, the Explorer, the commentary system. It's the base software. And then Paragon gives you the indicators, the scans, the templates, et cetera, to put in Metastock. If you want our daily charts version, which is for end of day analysis, for the US markets, it's $69 a month. For some other regions, it can be as low as $59 a month if you're leasing the software and data. And then you can also do global market data with that too. Or Metastock real time. This works with intraday data. You can look at tick data. The pricing's updated all day long. You actually get global market data with almost all the packages here. And if you're leasing that, it's $250 a month on a lease. You do get the buy 1 month, get 2 months free with that though. And as you can see here, I actually put a link. If you are a brand new user, you can just go to metastock.com/my name, Bobby Hiller, and it'll show you more about Metastock and the tools, how they work, and let you sign up for that 3-month trial offer. And then you have purchase options after that so that we can get your costs down even lower. So yeah, I think this is my closing slide here, just to make this available. If you guys want to know more about Metastock and how it works in general, feel free, reach out, let me know, or check out that link, the metastock.com / Bobby Hiller. I am an account manager and sales representative here, so I help with not only sales, but I also just help with general account needs and answering questions about our different systems. And I like chatting with my clients. So definitely feel free to reach out to me, guys, if you have any other questions. Also, if you want to get more information on Paragon, you can go to our website, metastock.com. Maybe I'll even direct you over there so we can go through some of this. Let's go ahead and get out of my slide. So if you come to metastock.com, just our home page here, if you go into products on the left-hand side and click add-ons, that's going to take you to a full list of all of our add-ons. Paragon is our newest release, so it's listed as the top one here, or you can come down the list to Colin Abrams' Paragon Trading System and open it up here. And you can see like a very brief video demonstration Jeff Gibby did on it right here. You can see the training schedule that's upcoming. As I mentioned, we are still hosting these live trainings. We're going to have another one coming up on the 23rd. So if you want to be able to ask Colin questions during the event from the creator himself, he's the expert doing this for decades. You can attend all of those classes and ask him questions. And of course, you get access to these live recordings too. But it has a little bit more information on the trading strategies as a whole here, as you can see. Another useful video that was put out back to our YouTube page. Many of you are there now. youtube.com / Metastock is the easiest way for me to get there. Here's our live presentation going on now. Just so you guys know, you can always catch our videos here, and you'll be able to find a copy of this under the uploads down here later on for me. But if we come in here, if you use the search functionality right here on YouTube, not this one up here because this searches everywhere, but if you're on youtube.com and you search right here, this is going to search just our Metastock page, and you can type Paragon in right here or any other add-on normally for that matter. And right here, you see this is a presentation that was actually streamed a week ago from Colin Abrams, and he goes far more into the actual usage. I was showing overall use with the Metastock system. He actually gets far more in depth into the strategies itself. So if you wanted to check out another video on it, that's another good resource for you there too. Of course, it does come with a manual as well. You get a very extensive manual that says all the different systems and how they work and how to utilize them. So something else to keep in mind. But if you do decide you want to order, I definitely recommend reaching out to me, just because I was able to work out a special deal for anyone that contacts me and wants to try this add-on out. But it's only going for the rest of the week. I see there's a couple other questions coming in. So a customer asked me, what do you think about Bollinger Band, RSI, and the MACD as a combination? Yeah, I'd say, all of those individually are very good trading strategies. If we open up Metastock here, because you said that, in our popular template that just applies a lot of popular system, it actually includes most of those. So, well, at least the RSI and the MACD, because a lot of people do like to use those strategies together. So I do think that they're solid system. This one also includes the stochastic, but this is our indicator drop-down list right here. And you can see we have hundreds of built-in systems in Metastock. This is our presentation computer. So it's actually not even close to every strategy we have, but any recent presentations we've done, those might be added in here as well. But Bollinger Bands just comes built into Metastock. So Bollinger Bands, RSI, MACD, all of those just come pre-built into Metastock. So you can apply those and look at them here. And yeah, if you wanted to combine those, I think that could be a good combination. I think these are good systems to use to give you an understanding. These are the type of things that I like to use in combination with other trading strategies. So if I get, say, an entry signal, excuse me, on the Dow, I also normally have these on my charts as well. So if I see that it's in an oversold position with like the RSI and I get a buy signal, plus MACD just had a crossover telling me it's likely to go up in price. All of those things combined together to give me a really strong trade. And I would be quite surprised if I had all those things signal and the price didn't go up. So, and yeah, that works with other things. So if you work with your Bollinger Bands, I applied those to the chart so you can see them all here, save it as your own template and use that with just Metastock built in. And those are methods that, yeah, a lot of people use, and I like to use those as confirmations in some of my trades because I do think they're good strategies. But because I do have access to, you know, all of Metastock's trading systems, for me personally, it's worked a lot better to just take someone that's been trading for decades and has a proven system and just follow along like I can with Colin Abrams' system now and combine it with other built-in strategies as well as other add-ons that we offer. So yeah, thanks for the question. Does anyone else have any other questions or maybe a chart that they want to look at, anything of that nature before we close out for the day? And of course, if something does come up afterwards, or if you're watching this as a recording, you can send me an email or give me a call. I'm available on the phone too. I'll be back at my desk shortly after this. If you prefer to talk on the phone, or you can always email me to schedule a phone call. And I can show you additional charts or answer any questions, anything like that. But yeah, I am really excited about Paragon, especially with the system test, the results that it's had. I've been using it for the last several weeks now in some live trading, and it's working. So that's why I chose to do my presentation on it, really, is because it's proven to be such a useful tool for me to add in, even after trying so many others. And I think that could be the same for a lot of you as well. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just end it there. And I am actually noticing on GoToWebinar, I see that Metastock's on my screen, and I actually have a different window open right now. So I'm sorry for those of you that were not able to see the PowerPoint presentation in GoToWebinar, but bobby.hiller@metastock.com is my email. I can email you over the PowerPoint if you missed any of it in GoToWebinar. But I think,
Bobby, I don't think
with YouTube,
we were able to see the screen during that. I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Maybe my screen is just frozen. It's still showing me Metastock.
Yeah, right now we're looking at your screen that says buy one, get 2 months.
Okay, perfect. Well, hopefully that's what everyone's seeing. All right, I think that kind of clears it up, though. Anything else, Greg, you think I should touch on?
I think you're good.
Okay. Hey, guys. Well, thanks for sitting through the presentation today. Reach out if you have any other questions, if you want to talk about your account or Paragon. If you're interested in being able to attend those upcoming training classes on Paragon, if you already own the system, then great, you should get emails to be able to attend those classes. Or if you want to try it out while it's available with our special deals we're running this week, reach out to me. I'll let you know about them, and we can get you into those classes with Colin. All right, guys, thank you very much. I'm going to sign off.